I've hardly ever meet anybody who's below the line and has been there a while in a relationship like the one that you wrote down who doesn't want to shift. They're going, this sucks. Well, are you willing to shift? I want to shift. So I tell them, go to Barnes & Noble, walk into the self-help section, go to the diet section. The diet section, the largest population of book sales in the United States, is filled and offered to people who want to weigh something other than what they weigh. Wanting to weigh something other than what you want to weigh and willing are two different things. Are you willing? Well, here's a couple of tips. Pretty good indication you're not willing if in that relationship you wrote down, here's what you say. I'll shift if they'll shift. Or, how do I get them to shift? Pretty good indication you're still a control freak. Like me, you're below the line. Another indication that you're below the line is this, I'll try. I say to my clients all the time, trying is wanting credit for something you never intend to do. So if you want credit, I'll say, attaboy, give it a try. But you're unwilling to shift. Why are we unwilling to shift? Here's the reason. There are tremendous payoffs to being below the line. And we're naive if we don't get that. Just a few of the payoffs, 5 of them real quick. When you're below the line, you get to be right. The ego doesn't believe it can survive unless it's right. We are terrified because the polarity that exists in our mind is we are either right or we are wrong. Got it? Right or wrong. So I get to be right. I get to have companionship. Just go across the street to Starbucks and listen to everybody who's below the line, share their broken-hearted story with each other, and have empathic connection. Drama seeks drama. I get to be right. I get to have companionship. I get adrenaline. The chemical cocktail when you're below the line is adrenaline. We literally are a society addicted to adrenaline, norepinephrine, and cortisol. So I get to stay on the juice. So it makes perfect sense to me. Drama is also incredibly entertaining. That's why we stay below the line. So we stay below the line for really good reasons. So now, right now, how many of you are willing to shift? How many of you aren't willing to shift? I don't believe you. If we could coach, what you discover is just, in my experience, about 80% of the time, we're actually unwilling to shift. Now, the problem is you're good, conscious people. So now you go, I should shift. Right? No. Love your no. In our organizations, we ask people, I'm below the line. Great. Can you accept yourself? Yes. Are you willing to shift? No. Stand up on the chair and tell the whole room, no. Love your no. I'm unwilling to shift. Why do you love your no? Because part of the whole purpose of mindfulness is to love what is, and your no is part of what is. So love your no. And if you're willing to shift, now you come to the last question. How will I shift? Well, those 15 commitments, those are actually 15 shift moves as well, plus 5 others. We've developed 20 shift moves. We have a thing we call the shift deck. It's a group of cards. If you're willing to shift, you can just pull one out and try any shift move and it'll work. Now, there are 2 foundational shift moves that are incredibly important because they reset your brain and blood chemistry. Whenever you're below the line, you're in a certain brain and blood chemistry. Those 2 shift moves, which I offer to you, are 1, radically change your posture. In the day, 30 years ago, I did a lot of marriage coaching. When couples were below the line, I'd say, are you willing to shift? If they were really, really willing to shift after accepting themselves and owning where they were, I'd say, great. And I'd put on their favorite kind of music, and I'd say, dance, move your bodies, and keep having the fight. Try it. You can't do it. The second shift move, and an incredibly profound one, is consciously breathe. We call it 4x4s. Here's what the research shows. That if you breathe consciously, which means bring your attention to your breath, breathe deep into your belly, breathe on a 4-second inhale and a 4-second exhale, do it 4 times, that's 32 seconds. The key is the conscious mind is paying attention to the breath. So you've taken your mind off of the drama, off of the fight, off of proving you're right. You're here, now, breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, it changes your blood chemistry. If you want support around that, on our website, you can get that video that I showed. On our website, you can get a meditation we've created on how to shift through conscious breathing, 4 4x4 breaths. So here's the practice. Move through the world asking yourself, where am I? Become expert at locating yourself. Become a master at self-awareness. If you're below the line, can I accept myself? One breath of okayness. Just give it a hug. You make sense. Are you willing to shift with the freedom to say no? And if the answer is yes, how will I shift? Good? Thank you.